Right, ladies and gents, Tightwad here. Just put me brush up. I'll show you that in a sec. In the old A-frame. Still always go back to this one. Just kind of working on this sort of rain gutter. But as Barry's just grabbed it there, just a demonstration. I'm going to put some sort of little dart stitches in there, just so this side here is a lot shorter than that side. Already you can see that's forming into a gutter. I could have about another 3 sticks down there, but that's just me little idea of working on that. If we just let it go anyway, Gary, and that one's pulled out anyway. Yeah. It's almost kind of there anyway. And something my missus pointed out, well, you chucked all the water over it and it went down so quickly, but something that I found there last night, the rainwater will gradually just come off that and go down that. Obviously at this end, if I was to have that end a lot higher, this end, you know, there's going to be a hole there, and I'd dig like the big East German pot in there, and again I'd just have it run the other side and that as well, so there'll be 2 collection points on that. But literally, as I'm guided by that height, it's fairly simple. I'm going to go lower, so I'll just dig a pot in there. Even if it was a Crusader mug, you wake up in the morning and you've got 2 Crusader mugs, you all know what they are, full of water. Well, that's 2 big brews for the morning that you wouldn't have otherwise had. And if you're in a situation when you've got no water, I think it's a good way of harnessing water. Just a little mention there, something that's rapidly, I don't know what this weighs, it's not a great deal, earning its way into my kit workload, and apologies for turning that around, is that little Friscar's ass, because everything we've done up here today, at some point we've either to bang stakes in, to make the stakes, to clear away some of the branches at eye height. Yeah, it's a Friscar's hatchet. My wife seems to call it a hitty thing. Why do you need a hitty thing? Well, I think all men need a hitty thing, don't we? But that thing is rapidly impressing me and earning its way into my Bergen. But ladies, gents, the old Bergen I made, the rain catcher, that's a work in progress, but I think I've proved the concept that it can work. It's almost naturally there anyway, but yeah, just need some tinkering about with that. But otherwise, all I've done is 2 long trees, just old squaddy style, or soldier, people don't know what a squaddy is, stuck a couple of bungees up. I would normally have it a little bit higher than that, but hey ho, as we look inside here, I know reasons, my camera went off there, just stepping back to let you have a look at that. My little tarp. This is the one I'll be using probably more often than not. We've just seen it up on the A-frame side, which is what you'd have on a hammock, and long enough for a hammock, I must admit, but ideally for a real hammock I'd want it to about there. Little idea I've got, so a piece of material from there to there out to here, so that attachment point can then be here, so that would cover the whole of a hammock, if that makes sense. So there's another little idea I've got today, another little modification I may or may not do on this. Just have a triangle of material coming out from there to there with an attachment point, and all the rope and virtually the whole hammock would be covered. I can get my hammock under there. We've just surmised that Barry's probably a little bit wider than mine, but there it is. And again, I'm more than happy with that, and that's going to keep anybody dry underneath there. There's no, along the top there, there's no sew line to let water through. That line is there, and it's not under too much pressure at all. Again, I will, so there's the line down there, where I did the French seam. So, not doing brilliant camera work here, am I? But there we go. I think, yeah, if you had to spend a few nights under that, I don't think there'd be too many problems. Again, we'll do that. Did it years ago with the old army ponchos, is sew a triangle of material. But what I would want, and another idea, not only for it to be flat and pegged into the ground, so you had like a gable end wall, if that makes sense, but one that would come out to there, so it'd give you like a dome shape. And then all the Bergens and so forth could be stored down this end, giving you a better working end from that way. But yeah, loads of people have been asking about it, want me to see it in the fields. The only way you can do it is set it up and give it a good testing. This had a good testing out last night because it lashed it down with rain. I think I've got some film of that, and my wife pointed out something, but I poured loads of water on it, but the rain will just trickle off it and trickle into that sort of guttering at that side. I haven't done it this side, but anyway, I'm going to put it up into another configuration now. Just I want to see how it goes. So I'll see you in a moment, ladies and gents. Yeah, well, ladies and gents, what do they call this setup? Because I traditionally,
if you have sort of that there, and then this coming more flat, more it would like a sort of baker design. Yeah,
alright, baker design. Or lean-to shelter, I've known that. Yeah. Just as a little bit of a scale size. I'm sure most people know what a Fiskars looks like in them little seats, but certainly you've got loads of working area under there.
Well, there you go, look. There, I'm 5 foot 8.
Oh. Gary, please just reassure everybody that that wasn't pre-planned, mate, was that? That was a blooper. That's going in, Barry. No, we always said good, the bad and the ugly, right? And you just reinforced 2 old farts in the wood, mate, and I'm too polite to laugh, right? That was not staged, mate, was it? I let Barry gather his composure. Remember, folks, you only see it on Tightwad channel.
As I was saying,
I just stuck that down, mate, just as a scale. I didn't dig it in or nothing.
Right, there you go. I'm 5 foot 8, 5 foot 7, sorry.
And again, I could make that, as you said there, from where the other bungee is. Yeah, the tie out or
clip it, pull it out there to give that extra bit of room.
But you certainly sleep under there if you wanted to. I wouldn't. I would always drop it down A-frame or whatever. But yeah, no, here's my old tarp. That's like the rain channel on this side. Again, ain't going to do too much on this side, but as we go round, I'll take you around this way as it goes. Yeah, we'll have a brew and then we'll have a mosey. Here's, well, all you can see, I'm filling the frame. It's a big old wide angle lens as well with DPM ripstop nylon. Nice little tarp there. Just coincidentally, I'm going to sew some little wedges in there, but that seems to have, without me doing anything, I haven't touched it, has actually gone into almost a drain pipe scenario. Try and catch it from this way. Let's see if we can sort of get that. I think water would actually run from this side down to that side. That would only take a little bit of tinkering about to get water to run down here. And as we discussed earlier on, if I'm going to use this system, here I would dig in a large pot, large mess tin or whatever, take it down below the ground anyway, clear all the debris and all that away, and have it drain into here. But that's almost, see if I can get this side without trying to bore anybody. It's hard to see because the camera doesn't always pick up what the eye does. That's almost gone into a gutter sort of shape and formation anyway. And you imagine the amount of water, raindrops, that's going to slowly filter its way down onto that, not rush down in its own way, get to the edge. Something I want to show you, because Barry just said, oh no, that's a brilliant idea. He's going to adopt that idea. Just for quickness, it's a little bungee hook. You can use paracord, I suppose. Onto here. These are made by myself. This is like 4 or 5mm bungee shock cord. You get it for pennies a metre. Just put bungee hook in, and these things come up. You pull off the end, tie it in a knot, and it grips the cord inside. So I've got a load of self-made bungees. You see one there. These things weigh almost nothing as well. And there's one here. I've done some like 1.5 meters or 2 meters. This is one of the 2 metre ones. Okay, only meant to be a hook. It goes all the way down, and as you can see, I've put that all the way down the tree. So unlocked it off there. I just always find it helps to have a couple of long, extremely cheap bungees. They'll be about £1 or £1.50 each to make. I think these are about sort of 40-50 pence for two. And there's another little one there. Don't have to be too flash fancy. Doubled that one over. Again, it's twice that length, but quite simply here, all I had was some S-hooks indoors, and I've tied an S-hook to it. Let's not make it no more complicated than it needs to be. And that's just pulling that out that way, keeping the tarp taut. Right, appreciate Barry putting the comedy element in there earlier on. guarantee you that wasn't sort of staged or whatever. You couldn't plan it if you wanted to. But ladies and gents, so for all the people that have been interested, this is what the tarp looks like when it's up. 3 different configurations. I'm happy with it. All I've got to do now is sew some darts like that in this side to make this side a lot smaller than that side, or narrower. Sort of do that. You see where I've pinched it? Because that, when I do that, it naturally, as you can see, forms like a dip. Anyway, that's I'm not going to do it for a few days because I've had enough sewing and so forth, and go back to work and start me work pattern there, and I come home knackered and fall asleep, probably like most people. But that's my next little project, just having a little sew about that, just sewing it in there. Right, ladies and gents, for all that you've asked and taken an interest, I hope that's more than enough for what you want. I'm very, very happy with this tarp. I've made it myself, quite happy with it. It's taken a genuine rain soaking last night. The grass was dry as a bone, and all of the water, as I said, run down and did form a puddle right at that end. When I get that sorted out, I would have come out to a big pail of water, and for that I would probably use like the East German sort of mist kit, the big pot with the handle on it. Just dig it in the ground. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so on that, I think job done. A little bit of tinkering about, but job done on the old tarp. So thank you very much. I hope that's of interest to anybody. I know some people have been mailing me and asking me about it. A couple of people are going to have a go at making one. Absolutely fantastic. If one person makes one and saves themselves a lot of money, or makes a tarp that's better than one you can buy, then my mission will have been complete. We'll have different things that we
I reckon I know why this is
give way. But I'll hang about for a sec, mate, because Barry's just giving me a shout at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, tarp, job done. Thank you. Tightwad out. Right, ladies and gents, Tightwad here. Quite unusual here in England, United Kingdom. I'm waiting for rain just to see if this. I've got the old slight mods or tinkering done to that rain sort of gutter. As you can see, the tarp set up. I've done the adjustments to both sides, and you can see it there probably. So I can zoom in a bit for you. Yeah, zoomed in a bit. Triangular material sewed on at the apex. Probably, I don't know, about 1 metre by sort of 80 centimetres. Make it as long as or deep as you want, but that is designed to completely cover any hammock strings I've got coming out of either side of the back, the old tarp there, even though it is wide. There's one on the other side, but the other one is just made a little bit shorter because I've put 2 sort of securing arms. It's only a little big finger. There is a pressette knot, and there's another mounting point just beyond where my wife's washing line is, so I can then fold it underneath and only have it half as hanging out. But quite happy with that. I could go around the back and tip some water over it, but as my missus said, well, it's not really a fair test because that's not how rain comes down. But I've got both sides, as you see there. I've tagged them in a little bit, put a few darts in, and they're coming down to the centre, and that's an East German mist tin under there. I'll have 2 litres of water. But yeah, let's have a little look. We have had thunderclouds here in the UK for 2 days, and it's been black as bog, but no rain. So there's only one thing we've got to do, gents. We all know what the score is when you want rain. So zoom out a little bit. You've got to come out in the garden, do a bit of videoing, have a brew, and it's going to be sure to rain. Let's get that right there again. Right, ladies and gents, Tightwad here. Done what I wanted to. We had a bit of atrocious weather here, massively high winds, and obviously because of the wall behind me, my garden, you'll see there, my back garden's like a right wind trap as well. It's actually starting to rain again now. We've had some hellish rain overnight and winds like you wouldn't believe. So if you're going to test something you've made, a tarp, you know, the stitching and all that type of stuff, this thing I am now more than happy can stand some pretty horrendous conditions. So I just got my boxer dog trying to lick my face. What I really wanted to was not pour water down it because that's not natural. Let's just see, leave this up. So from last night, I think it's going to start raining again, so I'm going to try and be quick here. this is what I woke up this morning. Yeah, I had to go out, so tarp was obviously soaking wet on the outside, dry as a bone inside. I'd set the old rain gutter up, again still tinkered with it, think I've got it kind of right, but I'm just going to try and zoom you in a bit more. I've now made it so it's high on each side and it comes down to a point in the middle. And looky what we have there. I'll try and keep the camera still. Just stuck a jug under there. Obviously that'd be a mess tin or something like that. Almost full of water. I'll drag that out in a minute and we'll have a closer look at that. But yay, hey ho, it works. There was a little bit of rain in the actual gutter itself, and all I did was, you know, if you was getting out of it in the morning or whatever, just lift it up a little bit and it drained straight into the tub there. That was like 3/4 full. It's almost to the top now. In fact, I think it is very much near the top. So that is water that you didn't have before. I wouldn't have had before. So when you see this, it'll be ×2. I haven't set the buddy, go away. So my boxer dog's trying to knock my camera. I haven't set both sides up. I just want to do the one, then I will go in and do exactly what I've done to this side to the other side once I know it works. And I'll tell you what, if I was in a desperate situation, not near any river or water source, for no other reason than I've just done a bit of sewing up, we'll see how much water I get. So I'll be back in a second when I have a look at that water. As I say, right in the middle there, you can see where the hole is. The actual strap down point is pulled away to allow the cup to get underneath, and again there was a little bit of rain here. Most of it's gone into it, and all I had to do was just just lift that up, point that down, and it dribbles straight in there. Again, so it's collected it, not all of it went into it, okay, but that's cool because you just see me get the water that otherwise would have been lost, and it's now inside whatever receptacle you've got. And let's have a little look at this. Remember people, this is like stuff you wouldn't have anyway. Ugh. Right, and that is right to the top there. Okay, obviously I'm in a very, it's probably quite realistic. Booty, no Booty, don't drink that, go on, go away. I'm getting zoomed in. You can see that, Buddy. Well, it must be fresh because my dog wants to have some of that. As obviously some of the greenery's come down, it's been collected in there and that, but that's not going to prove any problem for us. We've all got like a shimag, I think they're called, or I'll tell you what, I've got one on me now. I never go anywhere without one. I've got to now filter that the big particles out of that otherwise reasonable water, and I'll show you later on, like an army sweat rag or so forth, gauze cloth, triangular bandage. In fact, I'll use a triangular bandage on there because they're a brilliant bit of kit. I've got this water now. I've just got to filter the big bits out of it, and all that water I can either use it for my admin task, like washing, shaving, cleaning and all that. Way, that's it. See the old tarp there? It's standing up to some horrific winds, which is brilliant. Let's come out a little bit. Getting the right pounding, which I want it to take, and it needs to take, so I can know that, you know, the stitching's all going to do. Anyway, filter that water, get the big particles out of it, and I think it's just tradition. I'm going to do this. I'm going to filter that water out into a wide neck bottle, and I'm going to boil it up, and I'm going to make a brew with that, because there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. People, the water you're looking at, and that is, I'll look down, let's have a look. Oh, blimey. That's over 2.5 litres of water there that you didn't have. So you'd have woke up this morning 5 litres of water better off if you'd have had, you know, it set up the other side, which it will be done. And if I was out in the Ulu, miles away from anywhere, I'd have woken up to 5 litres of water. Anybody doesn't think that's a value, I don't really know what to think then. But next part you'll see me is just filter out. I'm not going to insult anybody's intelligence. Into a wide neck bottle, I'll have a brew with that. I am at this point super happy with that. Didn't take too long to do that modification of the old rain gutter, and in theory I could have been in a desperate situation, not near any clean or usable water. I've just woken up to 5 litres. People, you all know what a Crusader cup is. Even if you'd have woken up to 2 Crusader cups full of water, yeah, that's your rehydration for the morning and, you know, half of the day. I can see a lot of value in that, to be honest. And this little sort of rain catcher, you could do this with a minimum of fuss to whatever basher or tarp that you're in love with at the moment and you use. It ain't very hard to do. Anyway, I'll see ya. I want to keep this short because otherwise these videos get really long when I keep banging on. So I'll just filter some of that water. I'll get it into a water bottle and I'll make a brew with that. Take care. Right, ladies and gentlemen, all I've done now, I've just come over to the side there. I'm not going to be using anything I wouldn't have with me at the time. That's not right. I've got the water, just over 2.5 litres. The old East German mess tin that I use. Love that in my cooking kit. You can have all the flash filters in you want, but all I want to do is take the surface debris off that, which is the leaves and bits and bobs. Filter through that gauze, nothing wrong. That's a standard triangular bandage. Obviously, I have a love affair with these things because they are fulfill so many purposes. And here's another one, just as a quick, simple field filter. So here we go. I've whacked elastic band around it just to make it a little bit easier. I can hear that, I'm not sure, there's a lot of wind here. Filtering through now. The better it gets, the quicker the water will go through. All I want to do is just take the surface debris off. And that can almost, as long as I do it slowly, just pour that through till that mesh tin's full. Obviously you can do that with, I couldn't find me, I've got one of them wide neck Nalgene bottles. But you can actually do that into a bladder, because they've got a very wide opening as well. And I've got one inside. Just want to do this quick, just to get this video finished and uploaded. And man of my word there, I'm more than happy. If I needed to use a steri tab, no worries, use one. But I'm more than happy now. That's rainwater, it's hit the tarp, it's come down, I've filtered it. I am more than happy to brew that up. I'll make sure it has a good old rolling boil for a couple of 3 minutes, and I'm going to have a brew out of that. As I say there, that tarp's taken a hell of a hammering over the last couple of days in this hellish wind we've had. Good old rain last night, and this would be ×2 as well. So if you're thinking, you know, is this of use to me, you woke up in the morning probably a little bit wet, damp, and got no water. I have got, what, at least 4 litres of water, which I'll be using throughout the day. So for me, there's 3 words that sum this little thing up: win, win, win. The only problem I'll have after this is I've got to dry out the old, there we go, just come to the top now, which is good. Right, where's the old elastic band back on there. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to bring this over. Goody, you little girl. It's like my boxer dogs loves giving me a hand. Boudica, Boudica. Say hello. Hello. Right, here we go. It's going to be hard to see because it is water. But anybody unhappy with that? Because I'm certainly not. I'm going to waz that into a small little tin, get my old meth burner out, and I'll have a brew. Because I'm going to do a little video about my thoughts on subs and so forth. But ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That's the end game. There's what's left in there. Quite simple to filter that out. So you turn that into that, which is fully usable water, especially if you've given it a boil. What can I say? If you're going to be thirsty the next day after a rain, I'm not. So I certainly see a lot of value in that rain gutter on that tarp. And again, that would be ×2. But I just never, well, I'll just set it up like that just so I can take a bit of a hammering. But it's too close to the shed the other side to set the rain tarp up. Anyway, ladies and gents, I shall see you later on with the brew when I'm doing another video. So that's tight wood, and well, take care and be safe, everybody.